in determining the outcome. The viewers voted on the slingshot items. The viewers were winning money every minute. The audience wasn't just watching, they were part of it. YouTube called this their largest watch-with activation ever, with more than 10 creators hosting their own companion streams alongside the main broadcast. So while people were watching Mr. Beast's channel, other streamers were running reaction streams at the same time, pulling in their own audiences, who then all funneled into the main event. And the prize going to Your Rage's fans. Mr. Beast said the $1 million would be directed to one of the winner's fans. So this wasn't just Your Rage winning for himself, his community was part of it. The internet moved fast after this one. Your Rage winning was a moment for the Black streaming community specifically. His audience showed out hard, and people celebrated the win across Twitter and TikTok almost immediately after it happened. XQC's comment about AMP and DDG from the original video was still circulating alongside the finale coverage, because DDG was watching his own reaction stream on Twitch while Your Rage won. The timing of all of it, DDG getting called out by XQC in the video, then watching from the sidelines while the finale went down, had people in the comments going crazy. Phantom was in the video and got eliminated before the finale, which added another layer to the XQC moment since he's one of the main AMP members. The whole event managed to create storylines that will keep people talking for weeks. At the end of the day, Your Rage went into a room with 49 other streamers, survived every single round, made it to the final 4, and then on a live stream with over 1 million people watching, outlasted Ski Mask, Rubius, and Rackeye to take home $1 million. The whole event, from the chaos of the first challenge, to XQC going off after being eliminated, to the cliffhanger ending, to the 3.5-hour live finale, was one of the biggest content moments of the year, and Your Rage's name is going to be attached to it for a long time. If you haven't watched the original video or the live stream yet, both are up on Mr. Beast's YouTube channel. Go check it out. You already know what happened now, but actually seeing it is a different experience. Drop a comment letting me know who you were rooting for going into the Final 4, and I'll see you in the next one.
That's crazy, though. That is nuts. I want to watch. Agent did a video where he does this little segment where he pocket watch people, like streamers and stuff. Like he got one. He did Moist Critical. He did Kai. He did Mr. Beast is the one I want to watch. He did Rage, Jinxie, Queso. Boy, I know Queso be bringing in some crazy money. Crazy money. I think Jinxie went to the Green app, if I'm not mistaken. But this other video, I'm probably not gonna watch the whole thing because it's an hour long, or 56 minutes. But we all love a good laugh. These are the greatest moments in Black Twitter history. Now me, I've been down with Twitter since, I believe it was 2010. That's 16 years. Let me double check. Also, make sure if you on Twitter, check my Twitter out, Gino MTS. What? Jason calls out Deshae for a boxing match? Sorry, Jason. Deshae gonna smoke you. Shout out Angel Reese, who is now Atlanta Dream. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad. I was supposed to be checking. January 2010. The beginning of 2010 was when I first got on Twitter. And over the years, I still use Twitter to this day. That's my favorite app. I've never really got into fully Instagramming and all of that stuff. Twitter has been my favorite app. So it's been some crazy moments, hilarious moments, crash outs, all types of stuff on Twitter. So I don't know what's going to be in this list.
Well, we can't talk about social media in South Africa without acknowledging the hugely powerful cultural identity known as Black Twitter.
You know you're black if black moms be like, and
we're scared of getting dragged by Black Twitter.
Black Twitter is Twitter. It's a congregation, a community.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, you name it!
Why you always lying?
The collective voice known as Black Twitter is always on.
There's a corner of the internet that has always felt like a living, breathing digital community for Black people that we know as Black Twitter. Twitter emerged in the late 2000s as social media platforms began reshaping communication. Black Twitter was birthed within a few years of its launch. It wasn't a formal organization, a membership group, or even a clearly defined community. Instead, it was an organic cultural phenomenon where a network of Black users used humor, commentary, activism, and storytelling that transformed Twitter into one of the most influential cultural spaces on the internet. It's the way it functioned as a real-time town hall, cultural archive, and meme hub all at once, while also using collaborative humor to call out racism. From live reactions to award shows and television premieres, to amplifying social justice movements, to creating viral celebrities overnight, Black Twitter's ability to make people laugh through world and cultural events is why it's so iconic. Its influence became so undeniable that academics, journalists, and filmmakers began documenting its impact. In 2024, Hulu released the documentary series Black Twitter, A People's History. Over the years, Black Twitter has given the internet some of the most unforgettable viral moments, from legendary online beefs and internet threads, to social media mishaps, to real-world events that brought millions of people together in solidarity and humor. You guys know that I love to give you random Black history. So in this video, I wanted to take a look back at some of the most memorable moments in Black Twitter's history. Keisha Cole and her fish plates. The Keisha Cole selling fish plates joke is one of those classic Black Twitter drags that came from a mix of real controversy, plus internet exaggeration and Black community humor about falling off. The meme around Keisha Cole really started when she became known for being very outspoken on Twitter, especially when critiquing other artists, and Black Twitter tends to turn outspoken celebrities who have declined in popularity into running jokes if public opinion flips. During Beyoncé's 2013 Super Bowl halftime show reunion with Destiny's Child, Keisha tweeted, "I think I was frightened to blink for a second. Then Michelle sung and woke my ass up from my daze. She always f***ing up the groove." That tweet caused massive backlash because 1, Beyoncé was at peak world dominance. Number 2, DC3 is sacred territory. And number 3, Michelle Williams already had a history of being unfairly clowned online, so Black Twitter started side-eyeing her. A few days later, still dealing with backlash, she tweeted, "Oh, and by the way, it's still f*** old girl lame ass," among other tweets. Later in 2013, Keisha criticized Beyoncé's song Bow Down / I've Been On, tweeting, "Can't stand when people all self-righteous when it's convenient. First women need to stick together, now better bow." Shaking my head. This made the Beehive go into full attack mode, of course. And historically, arguing with Beyoncé's fan base never goes well. And plus, Beyoncé is a beloved public figure, so Keisha was getting attacked from all angles. Black Twitter began joking about her career decline using a very specific online trope. When singers fall off, Black people joke that they'll end up selling plates at community events or outside concerts and award shows. They had already done the same thing to Love and Hip Hop and G-Unit artist Olivia in the past. The meme exploded when tweets started circulating like, Keisha Cole selling fish plates outside the BET Awards right now. So anytime there was an award show on, for example, the Grammys, the hashtag Keisha Cole outside the Grammys would trend, clowning her as a has-been. And this went on for years, even still to this day low-key. The Pilgrim couple. But it's not just celebrities. Regular random users on the app would accidentally become the running gag as well. One of Black Twitter's most famous viral moments started with something completely innocent. A pair simply posting a photo of themselves dressed up for a winter formal back in January 2015. Both individuals, known online at the time as @Quellium and @TickleBitties, shared photos of themselves posing confidently in coordinated outfits for the event. The woman wore a long forest green dress, while her guy friend paired a fitted button-up shirt, high-waisted bottoms, suspenders, with a wide brim hat. Fits that were very old-fashioned inspired. But as history has shown time and time again, posting online means opening yourself up to the court of public opinion, and Black Twitter wasted absolutely no time holding court. Within hours, the image began circulating far beyond their original posts. Users across the platform began jokingly comparing the couple's outfits to historical figures and eras, with many tweets playfully suggesting
that one. Big Grit and Keisha Cole.
The couple's outfits to historical figures and eras, with many tweets playfully suggesting they looked like they had stepped out of colonial America, slavery, or antebellum era portraits. The jokes ranged from lighthearted historical comparisons to fictional backstories, imagining the couples starring in period dramas or historical reenactments. Despite being the center of a viral roast, the two handled the attention like champs and joined in on the humor and laughed along with commentators. As the tweet spread, the photo officially entered Black Twitter meme history and still to this very day circles Twitter at least twice a year.
You guys remember the Meet Me in Temecula joint?
Oh, man.
This is one of the funniest moments in my life. Like, literally.
There was these two dudes on Twitter who got into a back and forth debate about Kobe Bryant.
And it gets so heated that the dude says that he wants to fight him.
Meet Me in Temecula. But weeks before that photo took over Black Twitter, the entire timeline was closely following a beef that went a little too far. The phrase "meet me in Temecula" traces back to one of Black Twitter's earliest and most absurd internet beefs, which unfolded on Christmas Day in 2014. That holiday, two well-known Twitter personalities found themselves locked in an argument about basketball, specifically the legacy and performance of Los Angeles Lakers superstar Kobe Bryant. At the time, Kobe was entering the later years of his career, and debates about whether he was still an elite player were common across sports media and social media alike. Twitter user @SnottyDrippin' publicly criticized Kobe Bryant's performance during a game against the Phoenix Suns, suggesting that the aging basketball icon was no longer the dominant player he once was. Another user @MyTweetsRealAF, whose real name is reportedly Dave, strongly disagreed. The sports debate quickly escalated into personal insults and got increasingly aggressive.
Russell Westbrook the best SG in the NBA right now.
This is pretty stupid.
The Spurs would be better without whitewash Duncan.
And so is this. Idiot, sarcasm doesn't work when you're comparing a player who's hurting his team shooting 38% versus a 16-11 guy on a winning team.
During the heated exchange, @SnottyDrippin', whose real name is James, tweeted,
Let's go, loser. Temecula.
As a challenge to settle the disagreement through a physical fight. Instead of dismissing the threat, @MyTweetsRealAF took it seriously.
Loser? I bet I don't lose the fight. Laughs you in San Diego, right?
RT, if MyTweetsRealAF is not a real one on here. I'm real enough to meet and beat your ass. How's Temecula sound?
In an act that would ultimately cement the moment in internet history, David allegedly drove approximately 30 to 35 minutes from his home in Riverside, California, to the suburban city of Temecula on Christmas Day, fully prepared to engage in what he describes as fisticuffs. And he documented the road trip on the timeline. However, Ed Snotty Drippin was never actually in Temecula. He was in Arizona spending Christmas with his mother, and the confrontation never happened. By the time it became clear that the fight would not occur, the story had already spread rapidly across Twitter. Users began circulating screenshots of the exchange, and the phrase "meet me in Temecula" quickly became a viral meme, and the entire timeline found the entire thing ridiculous, yet hilarious. User @MyTweetsRealAF leaned into the viral attention by releasing a diss track aimed at Snotty Drippin over the instrumental of Lil Wayne's song "Believe Me."
Old school game like I played against the Pistons. I was playing my position, I was playing, I ain't pippin'. I was shooting for the missions, he was trolling for attention. I was rolling on the mission, we was knowing he was sipping. Big pippin' for his millions, but he really Diggy Simmons, that's the reason this was written.
In the wake of the beef, the guys did a few interviews of their own. In an interview with SB Nation, James described the entire situation as ridiculous and surreal, saying he never expected a typical argument on Twitter to escalate into someone offering to drive over 30 minutes. An exact thing about the event. He reportedly Army don't
No, bro, I'm in Arizona.
Cool history.
Some of hip-hop's biggest names, including Drake, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Ciara. Tell Drake he a true male groupie, I don't need you, one tweet read. So Nicki, I didn't have you in ATL for 2 weeks, room rate $60 a night.
Gucci Mane's Twitter rant. Another unforgettable Black Twitter moment happened in September 2013 when Gucci Mane logged on to Twitter and for several days straight went on one of the wildest tweeting sprees.
See, what people didn't know and now know, that Gucci was psychologically off his rocker. Same thing happened to Kanye. I know Kanye's on here somewhere, but he bipolar. He was doing a bunch of drugs. If you read his book, you would know, like. But he was off his shit at this moment. So he was calling all types of names out. He was going crazy.
The platform had ever seen. Out of nowhere, Gucci started calling out a long list of artists and industry figures, including Nicki Minaj, T.I., Jeezy, Waka Flocka, and Tyga, accusing people, airing out industry drama, and posting unfiltered tweets in his very distinctive style.
Be a leader, not a crash dummy. They lie, 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 lie. Brainwashers. Y'all believe that. You stupid anyway. I can't rep Brick Squad. Every artist I bought a Brick Squad chain, let a nigga rob them for it. Every chain, pitiful, Brick Squad. Big Guwop never gets robbed. Guwop don't get robbed. All Brick Squad members been shot. Think about it. Everyone but the CEO. Big Guwop never got his chain stolen. Y'all following a blind lady. Go get you a dog or a flashlight. I bought all them chains for y'all to let a nigga take from y'all. Nicki Minaj, Keisha Dior, Taraji P. Henson, and Monica. That's a street nigga fantasy. I got 10K apiece. I'm horny. Everybody wear tennis skirts. Megan Good might be the only one who can change Big Guwop. I'll cut all these hoes off though for Megan Good. She can have all Guwop money. Wop. If I'm so crazy, why y'all wives sucking my deed? Wop. Now Big Guwop is putting his artists up for sale. I'm sucker free. Anybody want my artist? Listen, 500 for Scooter, 1 mil for Waka, 250 for Thug. Everybody else keep that little money. I'm straight. Except Waka? No, I changed my mind. I'll keep Waka. Never mind. Waka included. Scooter 500K, Thug 250K. Waka 2 mil. Any trainers interested? I tried, but you faster than WAP. I gotta get in shape. I got 5K a week for a trainer. I prefer one with a fat ass.
The timeline exploded, and some people thought he had been hacked. Others thought it was promotion for a project. Many fans were genuinely concerned about his mental state. But Black Twitter did what it always does, react in real time. People were screenshotting the tweets, quoting them, trying to decode the punctuation, and turning the whole situation into a running commentary across the app.
I'm so mad, so upset, I was gonna apologize. I've been drinking lean for 43 years now.
At the time, a lot of outlets described it as a meltdown or a cry for help. especially considering Gucci's legal troubles and struggles during that era. And in hindsight, that period really did end the mark of that chapter in his life. Because what makes this story even more interesting and the mark of that.
I'm currently incarcerated, but I will be going to rehab because I need help. I want to thank everyone that has stood by me. I'm addicted to lean, and that shit ain't no joke. I can barely remember all the things I've done and said. However, there's no excuse. I've been drinking lean for 10 plus years, and I must admit it has destroyed me. Like, don't skip over the part where he being real. Choco, appreciate you, bro. Stopping in, I appreciate it, man. I'm the type of person, I appreciate every person that just, even if you just stop by for a second, just tap in. You can literally tap in, leave a comment, and dip. That's cool with me. It's nothing personal. I know this app is huge. I use Twitch all the time. I have a Twitch tab open right now with a stream open. That's not mine. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all of that. But also, so what I was saying, like, Gucci was going through some mental troubles at this point and addiction. So he was wilding out.
Chapter in his life. Because what makes this story even more interesting is what happened after. Not long after that era, Gucci Mane stepped away, served his time, got sober, and completely reinvented himself. When he returned to the public eye in 2016, fans were shocked at his transformation. He rebuilt his brand, continued releasing music, mentored newer artists, and turned his story into one of hip-hop's most notable comeback arcs. And on Black Twitter, people still remember exactly where they were when Gucci started tweeting. Paula's Best Dishes. The hashtag Paula's Best Dishes isn't as innocent as it sounds. It emerged in 2013 during one of the most explosive celebrity racism scandals of the decade, involving celebrity chef and Food Network star Paula Deen. Paula, who built her brand on Southern comfort food, hospitality, and her hit television show Paula's Best Dishes, faced intense public backlash after reports surfaced that she had admitted to using the N-word and making racist and anti-Semitic jokes. The revelations came from a videotape deposition connected to a workplace discrimination lawsuit filed by her former employee Lisa Jackson. Even more disturbing to many observers were allegations that she had once expressed interest in hosting a plantation-themed wedding featuring Black waiters dressed as enslaved people.
I told her at times I didn't have enough money to buy my own medication. We were sitting across the table, long table. And she said, it didn't reach me. And she said, here's $100. Go buy your medicine.
Whether or not she used racial slurs, you feel all this is true?
Yeah, she wanted Jello Roll and I to dress like that as well.
At the wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like Paula Deen is racist in that way?
I do. I do.
Have you ever heard Paula Deen use the N-word?
I've heard her use the N-word. She say, I tell y'all niggers, that's what's wrong with y'all niggers now today.
Why are you coming forward now to tell your story?
Because they didn't give me what I deserve. They didn't give me nothing I deserve. Everything I got, I worked for it. Even my own co-workers think that I've been treated the best. They think I live in a mansion. And it's just time that everybody knows that Paula Deen don't treat me the way they think she treat me.
When the deposition details became public, outrage spread rapidly across news outlets and social media. As the controversy began dominating headlines, Black Twitter responded in a way that blended critique with satire. Twitter users Tracy Clayton, a writer at The Root, known online as Brokey McPoverty, along with user Pope Jeffers, helped spark the viral hashtag Paula's Best Dishes. The hashtag jokingly referenced her cooking show while inviting users to create sarcastic joke recipes that highlighted the racism allegations. Thousands of tweets flooded the platform, and the hashtag quickly climbed to the #1 trending topic on Twitter. Meanwhile, the fallout from the controversy had real-world consequences. Paula Deen lost major endorsement deals, television opportunities, and significant brand partnerships in the weeks following the scandal. Rachel Dolezal. Just 2 years later, Black Twitter would face one of the most bizarre racial controversies of the decade, giving them their new target. In 2015, Rachel Dolezal, the then president of the NAACP Spokane, Washington chapter, was publicly exposed by her biological parents as a white woman who had been presenting herself as Black for years.
Is that your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad.
This man right here is your father? Right there?
You have a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was wondering if your dad really is an African-American man.
That's a very, I don't know what you're implying.
Are you African-American?
I don't understand the question of, I did tell you that yes, that's my dad. And he was unable to come in January.
Are your parents, are they white?
Question, complex answer.
Are you an African-American woman?
I identify as Black.
Rachel Dolezal, born white to white parents, explained in a live interview, even as a blonde-haired child, she identified with the Black experience.
I was drawing self-portraits with the brown crayon instead of the peach crayon. That was how I was portraying myself.
The clip stunned the public and ignited immediate conversation across social media, news outlets, and civil rights circles. But once again, Twitter, particularly Black Twitter, became the epicenter of the response. Rather than simply expressing outrage, users found the clip to be hilarious and created the viral hashtag #AskRachel, turning the controversy into a form of communal commentary. The hashtag functioned as a satirical Blackness quiz, where users jokingly tested Rachel's knowledge of shared African-American experiences. Tweets asked her to complete classic R&B and hip-hop lyrics, recall plot lines from shows like Martin, Good Times, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and identify everyday traditions familiar to many Black households, from repurposing shopping bags as trash liners to the names of items.
So on Black Twitter, they were talking about she's transracial, which is like, I feel like I was born in this skin, but I should be in this skin. So there was a whole movement, she should be able to be transracial. Other people are transracial. There's like hashtag wrong skin, where people were saying that I was born in this skin, my parents are this, but I identify with that.
This week, Black Twitter has been on fire. The revelation that Spokane, Washington NAACP leader Rachel Dolezal has been pretending to be a Black woman for several years caught many off guard, except for her parents, who outed her as being white.
But as racial tensions intensified in the mid-2010s, things got weirder. Pepsi. Corporations and mainstream media repeatedly misunderstood Black social movements altogether and crossed racial boundaries. In 2017, Pepsi released a commercial starring reality television personality and model Kendall Jenner that attempted to portray a protest as a unifying feel-good experience to sell soda. The ad showed Kendall leaving a photo shoot to join a racially diverse group of protesters before ultimately diffusing tension with police by handing an officer a can of Pepsi. Almost immediately, Black Twitter recognized the imagery as a tone-deaf appropriation of real-life protest movements, particularly those connected to the Black Lives Matter movement. Users flooded the timeline with memes, critiques, and historical comparisons, pointing out how the commercial reduced decades of activism, police brutality protests, and racial injustice into a marketing aesthetic. The backlash was overwhelming, and within 24 hours, Pepsi pulled the commercial and issued a public apology, which was a clear demonstration of Black Twitter's influence and ability to hold global corporations accountable in real time. Christopher Dorner.
A high-stakes manhunt is intensifying in California as police scour the Los Angeles area in search of the man who
You see how I keep saying, oh man, because I remember all of it.
allegedly killed 3 people in a revenge-motivated shooting rampage. But this is no ordinary manhunt. The man they are looking for was once a cop himself, armed, dangerous, and equipped with the same training as those tracking him. ABC's David Wright has the latest.
New images of fugitive Christopher Dorner taken by surveillance cameras. The trouble is, they were not taken today. This was 2 weeks ago in Irvine, not far from where Monica Kwan and her fiancé Keith Lawrence were murdered last Sunday.
The Christopher Dorner manhunt remains one of the most intense and controversial moments in modern Southern California history. In February 2013, the country watched the state's largest manhunt unfold. Christopher Dorner,
The funny part was, part of Twitter was like, hope he get away, and the other half is like, yo, they still ain't found him yet. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of Black Twitter.
Former LAPD officer and Navy reservist declared what he described as a personal war against police corruption after being fired from the LAPD years earlier. Chris claims he had been terminated in retaliation for reporting excessive force by a fellow officer. Allegations that resonated deeply within communities already grappling with long-standing concerns about police brutality. The case quickly escalated into national headlines when he was linked to a series of killings. On February 3rd that year, 28-year-old Monica Kwan and her fiancé were found dead in Irvine, California. Investigators later connected him to the attack, believing the killings were acts of revenge against individuals he blamed for his dismissal from the police force. Soon after, Chris released an online manifesto listing multiple LAPD officers and public figures he accused of corruption, while outlining his plans for retaliation. Days later, the violence continued. He allegedly ambushed police officers, killing one and wounding another. As the surge intensified, he fled into the San Bernardino Mountains, sparking a massive multi-agency pursuit involving helicopters, SWAT teams, and roadblocks stretching across Southern California and even extending into Mexico. While law enforcement agencies scrambled to locate Christopher Dorner, the unfolding crisis played out in real time across social media. There was a series of alarming mistakes by police. In the frantic effort to capture Chris, officers fired upon multiple innocent civilians driving pickup trucks that resembled his vehicle. 2 Hispanic women delivering newspapers were shot at, and Torrance police opened fire on a white man driving a similar truck. Miraculously, the victim survived.
There were 2 officer-involved shootings. They occurred within minutes of each other and within blocks of each other, and it now appears that both are cases of mistaken identity. Behind me, you can see out there in the distance a blue pickup truck out there. It is riddled with bullets. Now, LAPD officers were here overnight, and they were here to protect a fellow officer who lives in this area. We are being told he is a captain, and they worried that he could be targeted by Christopher Dorner. Well, this truck resembled the suspect's vehicle, and the officers opened fire.
It was nearly a catastrophic mistake. Inside that truck were 2 women on their daily newspaper delivery route. One suffered gunshot wounds to her back, the other shot in the hand. Both would recover.
Mistaken for a killer. During the manhunt for rogue ex-cop Christopher Dorner, a mother and daughter were out delivering newspapers. Well, suddenly they found themselves in the crosshairs of the LAPD. Tonight, KCAL's Chris Holmstrom speaks to them about the night that would change their lives forever.
Moments later, just a few blocks away, Torrance police, responding to the first shooting, spot a dark-colored pickup leaving the scene. Believing the vehicle may be Dorner's, they fired at the driver.
Just starting to wake up, and all of a sudden I hear a bam, 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 and then a big bang.
The driver was not hit. Later, millions of dollars in legal settlements would be paid out to the victims of both these shootings.
It was during this period that social media users began using dark humor as a way to process fear and critique law enforcement behavior. The phrase, "Don't shoot, I'm not Chris Dorner," quickly spread across Twitter and Facebook, evolving into a viral meme. Images circled showing people holding handwritten signs on their cars and wearing the t-shirts with similar messages. At the same time, his story sparked another controversial online phenomenon. A small but vocal group of supporters began portraying him as a whistleblower or anti-corruption figure. Many users condemned the violence and loss of life, but at the same time, Chris's manifesto ignited widespread discussions about systemic racism and corruption within policing institutions, and he gained a bit of a fan base. Facebook pages and online forums dedicated to Chris gained thousands of followers. The saga ultimately ended on February 12, 2013, when law enforcement cornered him inside a remote mountain cabin. After a standoff, the cabin caught fire, and authorities later recovered his remains. In the aftermath, his case left behind more than headlines, and his image is widely used on social media by people to express their opposition of American police and corruption.
They need to know that we're paying attention, and they need to know that there's a limit.
So that's why I feel like it's gotten so crazy now with social media, because in the early 2010s, it was like everybody was getting on the same page with shit. And a lot of people didn't like that. Then now, like 16 years later, it's like now it's a whole lot of people who just spew nonsense, real stuff. It's all mixed in together. You don't know what's what. And there's no unison like there was back in.
They need to know that people
everybody's watching
will come together like they do. And that's why I'm here. Like, people have been telling this story already. You know, so when people talk about Chris Dorner and how he went too far, like, people have already written books. People have already written letters. You know, these are grown people functioning in society. They're not criminals, you know, and they get kicked out of the LAPD and they make a life.
It was big yesterday. Rapper, reality TV star Bow Wow became at the center of a social media storm. He posted this picture. Now, here's Bow Wow. He also goes as Shad Moss. Here's the picture that we saw yesterday on Instagram. Looks like he got off his car, went into his Gulfstream 5 there, and he wrote, "Travel day, NYC press run for growing up hip-hop." It's like he's going to promote a show. Let's go. That's what he posts, okay? Then we see this post. This is a user on Snapchat. That's Bow Wow right there, and he writes, "So this guy, Lil Bow Wow, was on my flight to New York, but on Instagram, he posted a picture of a private jet captioned, 'Traveling to New York today, shaking my head.'"
Oh.
This story goes one step further. Leave it up to the internet to drill down deeper. They do a reverse Google search on the picture that he posted initially. What do they come up with? That's lifted from a Florida-only transportation company.
Oh.
Wow. That's the same shot right there.
The Bow Wow Challenge. Flex culture refers to the online practice of displaying wealth, success, and luxury as a form of social currency. Private jets,
so
designer
many times, like the Bow Wow Challenge, Soulja Boy,
clothing, exotic vacations,
Like I
luxury
said,
cars,
Kanye,
and VIP
Nicki.
access became visual shorthand for success. The more extravagant the lifestyle appeared, the more influence a celebrity or influencer seemed to hold. But celebrities have been exposed for fake flexing, thanks to hyper-observant digital detectives. And Bow Wow's 2017 private jet controversy became one of the most iconic examples. The Bow Wow Challenge was born when he posted an Instagram photo showing a luxury private jet, implying he was traveling in a high roller fashion. By this time, his career wasn't what it was 15 years prior, and court records said he wasn't bringing in much income. The illusion quickly unraveled when a passenger on the commercial flight Bow Wow was actually taken snapped a photo of him sitting in coach and posted it online. The internet wasted no time connecting the dots by finding the photos on Google, and the embarrassment went viral almost instantly. Social media users began roasting Bow Wow by creating the hashtag Bow Wow Challenge, a meme format centered around the art of exaggeration versus reality. The challenge encouraged users to post side-by-side images, one portraying an aspirational, glamorous, or fake lifestyle, and the other revealing the far more relatable or humorous truth. Ironically, Bow Wow himself eventually leaned into the joke, acknowledging the meme.
Beatings, stabbings, and even car crashes, people behaving very badly in Los Angeles and across the country for that fact, trying to get their hands on Popeye's chicken sandwich.
2020. Oh my God. It was so much stuff with 2020 Twitter. I wonder, has anybody done like a actual video? Let me see. Let me see something. Has anyone done like a 2020? Cause was bored. Yeah. 2020 was crazy, especially for like Twitter. Twitter was crazy in 2020. Like it was. Because everybody was locked down. So there was a lot of stuff happening in 2020. Nothing's coming up, man. But yeah, man. There's still a lot of that video left. It's just so long. I'm just not, you know. I'm not trying to watch a huge, super long video. See this one. Black people, black people. We run the world. We do. The most genius number.
In 1986, 18-year-old Rakim rapped one of the most influential verses in hip-hop history.
I take 7 MCs, put them in a line, and add 7 more brothers who think they can rhyme. Well, it'll take 7 more before I go for mine. Now that's 21 MCs ate up at the same time. Easy done.
Rakim lines up 3 groups of 7 MCs across 3 bars, then annihilates them all with a 21 MC punchline in bar 4. But what most people miss is that the math actually doubles as a musical signature. Rakim's government name is William Michael Griffin. 3 names, 7 letters each, 21 in all. 1 for each MC he destroys. Rakim's now iconic quatrain kick-started a hip-hop staple, using numbers as a lyrical device to showcase an MC's mastery of language. Fast forward nearly 4 decades later, and you have rappers like Malice doing stuff like this.
Go get a Glock 27, fit snug in the waistline. Both sticks came with the drum. I was 5'6", shoulder with a chip.
Malice tells his true crime origin story in the streets of Virginia Beach, weaving in a string of numbers. A Glock 27, his 5'6" height, powerlifting 2.2 pounds or a kilo of cocaine, and more. 8 bars in the verse contain a number, and when you extract each digit from the first 7 bars, you get 2756 222 1399. Add these numbers up and you get 48. Why 48? Because it sets up the final number in the verse's final line.
My story gon' hit the first 48, then it's on Dateline, cause this really shit I done.
The First 48 is a true crime TV series, so similar to Rakim's 7 MCs, the numbers weaved throughout Malice's own true crime story are an extended setup for the verse's masterful final punchline. Hi, I'm Cole Kushna, and on today's episode of Dissect, we're breaking down some of the most impressive numeric wordplay in hip-hop history, from Kendrick Lamar to Lupe Fiasco, J. Cole, J.I.D., and more. But before these modern rappers can innovate, they studied the architects like Rakim who laid the groundwork, and that story begins in the 1970s.
I'm coming up in, I gotta step above the rest, cause I'm using that ladder they call success. You say it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, rap like hell, make it sound like heaven.
This is Melly Mel's verse on Grandmaster Flash's Furious 5 debut single, Super Rappin'. Mel sets up an ascending 7 count, declaring he's a step above his competition because he's climbing the ladder of success. So the 7 count itself becomes a symbol of that upward ascension. But Rap It Like Hell, Make It Sound Like Heaven takes it one step further, as the number 7 is commonly associated with heaven, and the classic image of a stairway to heaven often features 7 steps. Like Rakim, Melly Mel was lyrically ahead of his time, because in these early days of hip-hop, the use of numbers was usually more straightforward. For instance, you had the roll call, shouting out the number of members in your crew.
Introducing the crew, you gotta see to believe. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MCs. Every jam we play, we break 2 needles. There's 3 of us, but we're not the Beatles.
So yeah, technically there are 4 Beatles, not 3, but Run is a legend, so he gets a pass. Now, another early numerical trend was variations of the count-in, the ascending 4 count band leaders used to kick off a song.
1, and in comes the 2 to the 3 and 4. Then I drop the beat I have in store. 1, 2, 3. bring it to the folks. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the dope.
By the mid-90s, these simple 4 counts and roll calls evolved into increasingly complex numerical schemes. A watershed moment came in '96 when Jay-Z released the track 22 Twos.
Too much West Coast dick licking, and too many niggas on a mission, doing your best Jay-Z rendition. Too many rough motherfuckers, I got my suspicion that you're just fishing a pool of sharks, nigga. Listen.
A play on a .22 caliber gun, 22 Twos contains a 16-bar verse in which Jay says two, either T-O, T-O-O, or the number 2, exactly 22 times. It's a lyrical exercise that highlights itself and, by extension, Jay's skill. But the track stands out because it's more than a mere gimmick. The verse delivers a sharp message and nuanced wordplay in addition to the numbers.
I've been around this block too many times, rock too many rhymes, cop too many nines too. To all my brothers, it ain't too late to come together, cause too much black and too much love equal forever.
Jay says it's not too late for his community to come together, rapping that too much black and too much love equal forever. The wordplay revolves around time. Jay saying the bond his community shares is timeless, so it can never be too late. But notice how too much black and too much love can also be heard as the numbers 2, while the 4 in forever doubles as the number 4. Get it? 2 and 2 equals forever. This kind of layered wordplay, coupled with its inventive numerical framework, cemented 22 Twos as a hip-hop landmark. The track even warranted an official sequel, 44 Fours, which Jay debuted at Reasonable Doubt's 10th anniversary show.
Rockefeller forever, hold for life. First debut classic, first album, 4 mics. I should've got a 5, but niggas lack foresight. But I don't give a fuck, I ain't do it for the hype.
22 Twos was the first of a handful of numeric-based classics released in the mid to late 90s. The most well-known of this era is Biggie's '97 hit 10 Crack Commandments, which, like 22 Twos, turns the song's technical constraint into a lyrical showcase.
Number 4, know you heard this before. Never get high on your own supply. Number 5, never sell no crack where you rest at. I don't care if they want an ounce, tell them bounce. Number 6, that goddamn credit, get it.
1997 also saw the release of a lesser-known but equally impressive track called Numbers by Organized Confusion. It's here Prince Poe and Pharoah Monch include a number in nearly every line.
We're like 3 LPs precise from my 5 deadly venoms. We're international plugs like 9 organized emblems. Get it? 20,000 leagues extra deep. Running with the number 13 with my 40 belows upon the feet. Now Adam 12 got me in his 2020, so I'm 007 about my 411.
In 1999, Yasin Bey, FKA Mos Def, upped the numeric bar with Mathematics, a track that audits America through statistics and equations to expose its many injustices against Black Americans.
It's a numbers game, but shit don't add up somehow. Like I got 16 to 32 bars to rock it, but only 15% of profits. Ever seen my pockets like 69 billion in the last 20 years spent on national defense, but folks still live in fear like nearly half of America's largest cities is 1/4 black. That's why they gave Ricky Ross all the crap. 16 ounces to a pound, 20 more to a key. A 5-minute sentence here and then you're no longer free.
Finally, while not a full song, no list of number-based lyrics from the 90s would be complete without mentioning Foxy Brown's feature on Nas's track Affirmative Action. The verse is infamous for its technical breakdown of buying, cutting, and selling cocaine, which may or may not contain some faulty math.
Keys is 1 2/5 on how we flip. 32 grams raw, chopping in half is 16. Double it times 3, we got 48, which mean a whole lot of cream. Divide the profit by 4, subtract it by 8. We back to 16, now add the other 2 that Mega bring it through.
By the turn of the century, these canonical tracks had cemented math and numbers as a part of the MC's toolkit, a tradition that continues to thrive today. One of the more common practices is structuring entire verses around ascending or descending numeric sequences.
1, 2, 3.
Niggas ride through the city with they scrap on. 4 niggas at the gas station on the trap phone. 5 o'clock traffic on the block, they in the mix. But the plot twist is niggas done made it out to 6. 7 in the morning off a Boulder Crescent flash show.
Put a 1 on it through the testers out at noon. 1 o'clock, fiends coming back like nigga, give me 2. PlayStation 3 serving knocks at the door. Fiends know I got Nick steady coming up with 4.
5-4-T, 5-7-5 jeans in a spot serving rocket.
3 shots of sterno, wick stuck in a bottle empty. 3 rocks to the target, we lit it and lobbed it hard as century. 4 bigs of the oinking variety, guard the market entry. 5 minutes of flames and an aim to whistle my father lent me. 6 o'clock, we meet up and divvy the shells among the youngins. 7 continents and the shit and smoke like it's fucking London.
This last example is LP's verse on the 2011 posse cut The Last Huzzah, where LP weaves a sequential count into a verse-long tale of staging an attack on an unnamed symbol of American capitalism. In the first half we just heard, each line begins with a number. However, after number 7, LP continues the ascending count in more creative ways.
Before they ate up the funds of harmony, love was bumping. Now government issue 9s are pointed where your blood is pumped in. Turn them off of these muttering zombie talker pieces. Alabama knew harder than Fukushima breezes. In the end, with a dozen or so adjourneries, and you find a verdict return corrupted and murderous seasons. With inverted 31s and other unlucky omens. That's why I chuck 7 and 7 till I'm fucking homeless.
Here LP gets especially clever with the numbers 11 through 14. He raps L'll vent on you harder than Fukushima breezes. L'll vent is short for LP will vent, meaning he'll unleash a verbal assault more deadly than the radiation winds from the Fukushima nuclear power plant meltdown. But also notice how L'll vent is a homophone for 11. He then describes being put on trial by 12 or a dozen jurors who turn in a faulty verdict. Interestingly, you'll find the verdict returned corrupted in murderous seasons is the first bar without a number since the count started. This line should have contained the number 13, but LP skips it, just like hotels superstitiously skip the 13th floor, because it's bad luck. This is acknowledged directly in the following line when LP only alludes to 13, saying, with inverted 31s and other unlucky omens. An inverted 31 is a clever reference to 13 without actually having to say it. LP then describes himself chugging 7 and 7s, a cocktail made with Seagram 7 whiskey and 7-Up soda. And of course, 7 and 7 equals the next number in the count, 14. In 2016, Kendrick Lamar took a somewhat similar approach to LP's with his feature on Beyoncé's Freedom. Like LP, Kendrick starts with a straightforward count, beginning each line with a number.
10 Hail Marys, I meditate for practice. Channel 9 News tell me I'm moving backwards. 8 blacks left, death is around the corner. 7 misleading statements about my persona. 6 headlights waving in my direction. 5-0 asking me what's in my possession, yeah.
Kendrick paints a portrait of life as a Black American. 10 Hail Marys, I meditate for practice, refers to the mysteries of the Rosary, which are meditations on the lives of Jesus and Mary, prayed in sets of 10 Hail Marys. Channel 9 News, Tell Me I'm Moving Backwards, calls out stations like Fox News who have specifically criticized Kendrick's approach to change. 8 blocks left, death is around the corner, describes the dangers of growing up in places like Compton, where a simple walk home puts your life at risk, be it via gang violence or police violence. 7 misleading statements about my persona continues Kendrick's critique of media slander, while 6 headlights waving in my direction, 5-0 asking me what's in my possession, describes police harassment. 6 headlights refers to the 6 lights atop a police car, and 5-0 is slang for cops. But after 5, Kendrick's countdown appears to stop, as there are no more direct references to numbers. Why would Kendrick suddenly stop the count? Well, he doesn't. He actually continues it, not with numbers, but with syllables.
Yeah, I keep running, jumping the aqueducts, fire hydrants and hazardous smoke alarms on the back of us. But mama, don't cry for me, ride for me, try for me, live for me, breathe for me, sing for me, honestly guiding me. I can be more than I gotta be, stole from me, lied to me, nation hypocrisy, code on me, driving me wicked. My spirit inspired me like, yeah.
After 5, Kendrick moves to a string of lines structured around 4-syllable phrases. I keep running, fire hydrants, and hazardous. He then moves to a number of 3-syllable phrases. Ride for me, try for me, live for me, breathe for me, sing for me, and so on. As he nears the end of the verse, he begins 2 lines with the 2-syllable word open. Open our minds as we cast away oppression, open the streets and watch our beliefs. Finally, the last line of the verse begins with a 1-syllable word. I pray it forever reads. Now the cherry on top is that Kendrick actually omits the obvious final word of this line, as it's clearly set up to say, I pray it forever reads freedom. We might wonder if this missing last word is Kendrick's equivalent to the number 0, his way to execute 0 syllables, completing this masterful 10-0 countdown.
Like, yeah. Open correctional gates in high desert. Yeah. Open our mind as we cast away oppression. Yeah. Open the streets and watch our beliefs, and when they carve my name inside the concrete, I pray it forever reads freedom.
Kendrick's clever take on a countdown reminds me of another, even more hidden count in Lupe Fiasco's feature on Kanye West's Touch the Sky. It's here that Lupe conceals a 3-to-1 countdown across the entirety of his 16-bar verse.
Yes, yes, yes. Guess who's on third? Lupe still like Lupin the third.
The verse's first line establishes the 3 in this 3-to-1 countdown. Lupe repeats yes 3 times before asking guess who's on third, calling attention to the fact that he's on the third verse of this song. Guess Who's on Third is also a reference to the classic Abbott and Costello comedy routine, Who's on First.
What is the fella's name on third base? What is the fella's name on second base? I'm not asking you who's on second. Who's on first? I don't know. Third base.
This baseball reference extends into the next line, Lupe steal like Lupin the Third. He's claiming to steal the show or a song with this spectacular verse, but it's also a play on a baseball player stealing a base. Cleverly, he refers to himself in third person, but also pronounces Lupe steal to sound like Lou base steal.
So this is kind of a reach, because where he from in Chicago, he says still like Lupin the third, like the one that was from around the way.
Strengthening the baseball motif. Meanwhile, Lupin the Third is a reference to the famous anime thief who steals national treasures. But notice how Lupin the Third also sounds like looping the third, as in rounding third base toward home plate. With the 3 firmly established here at the start of the verse, the hidden countdown continues midway through, when Lupe says this.
I'm trying to stop lying like a mum rob, but I'm not lying when I'm laying on the beat. On guard, a touche, Lupe, cool as the unthaw, but I still feel possessed as a gunshot.
Lupe begins this passage with a triple entendre. I'm trying to stop lying like I'm mum-ra. The surface meaning is that Lupe is trying to stop lying or be more honest, but he expresses this with wordplay based on the 80s cartoon Thundercats, which featured a hero named Lion-O and a villain named Mum-Ra. So lying is also a homophone for lion, as in Lion-O, who Mum-Ra attempts to stop. The third layer is a deep cut for Thundercat fans, because they'd know that Mum-Ra literally spent most of his time lying in a sarcophagus. Lupe then continues, but I'm not lying when I'm lying on the beat, on guard. Lupe only speaks facts when lying or rapping on a track. On guard is used as a homophone for on God, an expression that means you're not lying. On guard itself is a French phrase used in fencing, said before engaging in a match. This leads to Lupe saying touché, another French term that has its origins in fencing, used to concede that your opponent struck you. But touché also contains a homophone for the number 2, and Lupe even holds up 2 fingers in the music video to ensure we caught the wordplay. Now, with the 3 established at the start of the verse, the 2 concealed midway, the countdown is then completed at its end, when Lupe says this.
So, I represent the first, now let me end my verse right where the horns are like,
The first in So I Represent the First completes the verse-long 3-to-1 countdown. But notice how short this line is compared to the others. That's because he should have said, I represent the 1st and the 15th, the name of Lupe's independent record label. Why not say 15th? Well, he didn't have to, because this just so happens to be the 15th bar of his verse. Now, the long play 3-2-1 countdown is a clever novelty, but there's actually a thematic reason Lupe did it, because the song Touch the Sky is all about touching the sky. And in the music video, that happens via a rocket ship. And what happens just before a rocket blasts into the sky? A 3-2-1 countdown.
Sky high, I'm sky high.
Now, outside of ascending or descending counts, another common use of numbers in rap lyrics is referencing athletes by their jersey numbers, like when Big Sean rapped this in 2017.
If I lose one, I bounce back like 2-3 did with 4-5. Seen courtrooms and court size ain't too.
When Michael Jordan came back from his first retirement in 1995, he switched from the number 23 to 45. Big Sean recognizes the ascending 2, 3, 4, 5 in these jersey numbers, so he begins the bar saying, when I lose one, completing a concise 1 to 5 sequence in a single bar. Rapper J.I.D. executes a somewhat similar flip in his song Lisa, where he plays off the classic mic check 1-2 to kick off an extended Michael Jordan reference.
1, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2 before 3 like 2-3 when in his third and 9-2 that 9-3 season. Crowned a new king, the kid came and proceeded. No.
Here, that 9-2, 9-3 season nods to the year the Bulls completed their first championship three-peat, cementing Jordan as the new king. So the previous 1-2 before 3 nods not only to the first and second championships before winning his third in 93, but also to the years that they were won, 91 and 92. But But also notice how 1 is a homophone for won, as in he won 2 championships before winning 3. Even more impressive is the fact that if you add these numbers up, 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, you get 9, completing the 9-1, 9-2, 9-3 championship years. Equally impressive is Vince Staples' feature on Earl Sweatshirt's record, The Caliphate, where the Long Beach native plays with the jersey numbers of Lakers legend Kobe Bryant.
You know me. Glock 32, I shoot like both the Kobe's. Pop it when I'm lonely. At the Sam's, throwing 20s on her back like she Ginobili. You fucking on the homies.
Vince begins, Glock 32, I shoot like both the Kobe's, playing on both basketball shots and gunshots. Along with citing a specific model of a Glock, 32 is what you get when you add the 2 jersey numbers Kobe Bryant wore, 24 and 8, hence both Kobe's. The basketball gun analogy continues, pop it when I'm lonely, with Pop here referencing a gunshot and the nickname of Greg Popovich, legendary coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Thus we get the next line, at the Sam's, throwing 20s on her back like she Ginobili. Sam's Hofbrau is a strip club in LA, so Vince is describing throwing $20 bills while getting a lap dance. The 20s fall on her back, the same place Spurs player Manu Ginobili wore the number 20 on his jersey. Adding a layer to the scheme is the fact that Kobe and Ginobili were on-court rivals during the early 2000s, when both the Lakers and the Popovich-led Spurs were the top teams in the Western Conference. Now, a few years after Vince Staples' Kobe flip, another LA native, Kendrick Lamar, paid tribute to Kobe with incredibly nuanced wordplay in 2024's Peekaboo.
Pickable, I just put them bookers in my chain. Pickable, 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Pickable, 7.62s I make them playing. Pickable, popping out.
Kendrick begins with a reference to his diamond chain or necklace. A pointer refers to 1/100th of a carat, so 80 pointers is first a nod to the 80-carat diamonds that comprise Kendrick's chain, but it also doubles as a reference to Kobe Bryant's famous 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors, Drake's hometown team. Released in the aftermath of Kendrick and Drake's historic battle, this line likens Kendrick's defeat of Drake to Kobe's 81-point domination of the Raptors. Indeed, like Kobe, Kendrick kills his competition, hence the next line referring to 7.62s, the standard ammunition in an AK-47. However, 7.62 also doubles as an incredibly clever extension of Kobe's 81-point game, because if you check his full stat line for that game, you'll find that Kobe logged exactly 7 threes, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds, 7.62. Now this type of elite lyrical layering can also be found in J. Cole's 2021 track, The Climbback, where Cole packs 6 bars with so many references and entendres, you might not even catch the tribute to Kobe Bryant.
To the left of that decimal, I need 7 figures to play the joint. Turn up your decibels, P-Pie decimator joint. Check out my projects like them workers that section 8 points. And you'll see how I flip like exclamation points. My niggas shoot first as if they never played the point. More 2 guards, enough straps to fill for U-Hauls. More depth.
J. Cole begins, to the left of that decimal, I need 7 figures to play the joint. 7 figures to the left of the decimal means $1 million, Cole's asking price to perform. He continues, turn up your decibels, peep how I decimate a joint, which is a call to listen closely as Cole lyrically destroys the track. This flows into the next line, check out my projects like them workers that Section 8 appoints. Cole here compares social workers checking on Section 8 housing projects with his audience checking out his musical projects. And Cole says when you do that, you'll see how I flipped like exclamation points. Flipped here refers to Cole flipping musical samples, a nod to his self-produced projects, flipping out lyrically like he is on this track, and literally flipping a lowercase I into an exclamation point. Cole then begins a basketball analogy, rapping, my N-words shoot first as if they never played the point, more 2 guards. He contrasts a point guard, the pass first position that orchestrates a team, with the score first position 2 guard, also known as a shooting guard. The play here is that Cole's friends are quick to shoot a gun. This gives way to the line, enough straps to fill 4 U-Hauls. On the surface, it's a claim that Cole's shooters have enough weapons to fill multiple moving trucks with straps or guns. But the fill 4 in fill 4 U-Hauls is a homophone for Phil Ford, the American basketball player who played for the Tar Heels in J. Cole's home state of North Carolina. Fittingly, Phil Ford was a point guard. Now, looking back at this entire sequence, we can see that 4 out of the 6 lines include a number. There's 7 figures, Section 8, 2 guards, and 4 U-Hauls. And this is where things get really good. Working backwards, we find that if we combine the 2 and 4 in the basketball analogy, we get 24, the number Kobe Bryant wore in the second half of his career. Just 6 months prior to this song's release, Bryant tragically died in a helicopter crash, so the nod here feels like an appropriate homage. And of course, Kobe was a shooting guard, tying perfectly into the line's two-guard motif. This revelation clues us into the meaning behind the 8 in Section 8, as Kobe wore the number 8 in the first half of his career. And when we combine the 8 with the 7 decimals from the opening line, we get 78, a nod to the year Kobe Bryant was born, 1978. Amazingly, in this 6-line passage, Cole incorporates 4 numbers that symbolize Kobe's birth year, both jersey numbers he wore, and the position he played. Now, my final example in today's episode is what I believe to be the holy grail of numerical wordplay and rap lyrics: Kendrick Lamar's feature verse on Pusha T's 2013 track, Nostalgia. The song's title is a portmanteau of the words nose and nostalgia, which succinctly captures the song's central theme: how the nostalgia of Pusha T's and Kendrick's childhoods are inseparable from their memories of cocaine. For Push, it was dealing, and for Kendrick, it was witnessing his father dealing.
Quantum physics could never show you the world I was in when I was 10. Back when 9 ounces had got you 10. And 9 times out of 10, niggas don't pay attention. And when there's tension in the air, 9s come with extensions. My daddy
Kendrick begins citing quantum physics, the science that explains the behavior of matter and energy using highly complex mathematics. We should therefore expect Kendrick's equation to be highly complex too, as he follows this with a sequence of lines using the numbers 9 and 10. He raps, "When I was 10, back when 9 ounces had got you 10, and 9 times out of 10, N-words don't pay attention, and when there's tension in the air, 9s come with extensions." Kendrick here uses exactly 3 9s and 6 10s. 3 9s equals 27, and 6 10s equals 60. Add 27 and 60 together and we get 87. Why 87? Well, he reveals why directly in the verse.
So, nigga, I was born in 87, my granddaddy a legend. Now the same shit that y'all was smoking is my profession. Let's get it.
In a song about childhood and nostalgia, it's only fitting that Kendrick shouts out his birth year. And this seems to be the reason why Kendrick specifically chose 9s and 10s, because 9 and 10 equals 19, which when combined with the sum of the numbers we just calculated, remarkably completes the birth year in full, 1987. With this connection, Kendrick has perhaps reached an algebraic level of mathematics, but he claimed quantum physics, so let's keep digging. Because look again at the precise number of 9s and 10s he used: 3 9s and 6 10s, 3 and 6, or 36. Why is this significant? Again, Kendrick pretty much tells us in the verse.
I said, Daddy, one day I'ma get you right with 36 zips, 1,000 grams of cocaine, then your name will be rich. Now you...
Young Kendrick claimed that he'll one day become his father's drug supplier, claiming that he'll provide him 36 zips or 36 ounces of cocaine, the equivalent to a brick or kilo. And so by using 3 9s and 6 10s, Kendrick found a set of numbers that contains his full birth year and an allusion to a brick of cocaine. We have now reached an advanced calculus level of mathematics, but let's go even deeper. 36 was also the age of Pusha T at the time of the song's release, and it's clear that Push and his creative team understood this numerical relationship between his age and a brick of cocaine. The album's minimal cover art features a black barcode with a sequence of numbers beneath it. There's 12 numbers in total, and if you add these numbers up, you get 36. Along with a nod to Push's age, the implication is that the album itself is a brick, packaged and sold by a dope rhyme dealer. Wow, okay, so 36 also connects to Pusha T himself too, but this is just the beginning of this connection, because let's take a look at Nostalgia's overall structure. The song is 3 minutes and 36 seconds long. Catch that? 3 minutes and 36 seconds. Structurally, the song contains no hook. Rather, it's divided into 2 halves, with the first half containing Pusha's verse and the second half containing Kendrick's verse. And the thing is, the song's 2 halves are exactly the same length. Kendrick enters the song exactly halfway through the track, to the second.
You wanna see a dead body? Instrumentals from my mama's Christmas party.
Okay, so the song is divided perfectly in half. Why is this significant? Well, if you count the measures or bars in each half, you realize that Pusha's half of the song contains exactly 36 bars, which means Kendrick's half of the song also contains exactly 36 bars. The same number of ounces equivalent to a kilo of cocaine. Literally, every verse is a brick.
He said, well, nigga, then show me how it all makes sense. Go figure, motherfucker, every verse is a brick. Your son dope, nigga.
After checking the figures like Kendrick asked us to, we now fully understand the monumental impact of this closing punchline, elevating his verse to quantum physics levels of complexity. For my money, it's the most impressive entry in hip-hop's long and storied tradition of using numbers in rhyme.
K-Dot is something completely different. And that's all you can say about that. K-Dot is just something different. I mean, it's a beast, a master class of a rapper. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes. We've been just chilling. We just been chilling. I really want to up my streams though. I want these shits to be something that people will tune in, but I also like just sitting here chilling. It's a vibe, right? It could be just me, that's cool. Because the thing is, what people don't always realize is replay value carries more weight than your initial viewers. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Yeah, man. I don't know. Not how I would flow on that beat. Sick with it, sick in the head, nothing to get for this shit. Give me like half of that, I put that on the next one, and it's not for that, it's rap for that. Put it in a rap set, raps together like rap snaps. So far so good, everything that I spit, man, I'm coming from where I'm from. I don't know what I touched. Was it when I could go with some turmeric in the cut? This shit on my hand and it won't come off. This beat sound like it was easy for that nigga to make that simple beat. It's too simple. It don't stand out. Yeah, give me some feel when I be spitting. Every time that I kick this shit, it's not written. But I ain't a look. Listen, y'all know how I get when I be spitting these flows. This is how I'm about to end this whole stream though. I'm about to go off till I find a beat that can go. I'ma end it like that, and that's how I'ma do my shows. Welcome to the chat room. Welcome to Gino's world. You know where you at, man. Go and get your girl. Go home, get your family. Y'all all sit along. Everybody watch this, and we can all sing a song about the ones and twos, the threes, the fours y'all never could do. What I can do if I hold up 5 hands. Well, I ain't even got enough of those. I got 5 fingers though. I can sit back with this 6. Hit you in the stomach, no 6-pack. You know what I'm getting at. I was trying to do the number scheme off the top of their head, but it ain't running like it's supposed to be. I'ma run this shit like I run a scene. Y'all know I can get it running back and run a regime. Last time when I was rapping, I listened back. I realized that I wasn't even that close and you couldn't hear me rap. But that's okay though. I spit this shit like I got nowhere to go. I don't know. You hear me though, you hear me though, you hear me though, you hear me though. I don't know. You hear me though. I ain't even like that beat that well. That shit was, what the fuck? Right here. Shit was like a piece of glass in my face. What's going on, man? Hey, yo, do better, bro. I'm trying to find a better beat. But I also have this voice mod thing, and I don't remember if I deleted it or not. Hey. Oh. I was about to say YouTube Federal, but I ain't got it on there. Okay, you're here, but you don't. Like, what's up? You're not working no more? When I first got my computer, I've been rocking with this computer for like 3 years now. And we done had some ups and downs. But nonetheless, we still rocking. You dig what I'm saying? We still rocking. Yeah. Yeah. How you gonna show me some other stuff there, but you ain't gonna let me go there? It's still update and running main app. Okay, clear. Yo, to the life of me, for the life of me, I can never get back what they ever did. That's trifling. I can never be as trifling as the rifles be. The rivals be, hit 'em with the rifles be. You know how I be spitting this shit when I be killing it. Speak so familiar. Everything that I spit gon' get a milli. If I put up one, y'all better too. Y'all know how us three gon' get moved. See what I did when I just did that? I learned something from the way that niggas used to rap, or the way the niggas do rap. Anyways, let's get back to that. Did I say what I do that? Who do that? Into with your Twitch, and that shit could be cool, but I think I'm gonna enter with something else, spitting and shit like I ain't got nothing left. I got the help left here to kill myself. In GTA, y'all can never play the way I play. What did you let me put the rest of the password in, or whatever it is? No, you didn't. So let me get back to this shit for a minute. What, you think I forgot something? Not something that you can play with. Continue on with the same shit. Continue on with the same shit. Y'all continue on with the same shit. I'm continue on with the same chick. We good to the skull, good to the soil. Open that app up and let me see. Claim them all. I don't know what the hell going on. This shit really throwing me off. Is my mic connected? What the fuck? Let me get this shit right for a second. Is it? I don't know what's going on, but hold on. Let me get this joint right on my microphone. Output seems to be muted. Well, give me out the real voice. Out the tube. And my battery died, dude. Yo. What's going on? I don't hear nothing on this song. I don't hear me rapping along. I don't hear y'all singing songs. Hear y'all getting along. I don't hear y'all doing the songs. I don't hear you. Yo. Oh yeah. Why is I'm not getting nothing? Why is I'm not just? Is this regular? My bad, y'all. I'm messing around. I'm about to end this jump, though. Y'all be nice. Y'all be good. Y'all be kind to others. Live your life. Treat family like sisters and brothers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I just came up with that off the top. But anyway, I'm going to catch y'all Thursday for Gino and Bone. Episode 7, I think. Lucky number 7. I'm going to see y'all boys in the next stream. And we out.